Most of us keep in contact with one another all the time, so we just meeting up for another weekend, basically. But we first got here, Coach Foreman really put out there to be family and stuff like that, and they ended up being true because most of us guys keep in contact with one another and try to see how well each other's doing.
Leonard, you had obviously a tough journey to get here, at the start of your career. What did the championship mean? And being a captain as a senior, what did that mean for you to cap off your career that way, given all that you'd been through to get here?
It topped it off because it was my first championship. I never won a championship in my life. It just topped it off by actually winning the SEC championship by the way we lost every year to Florida and the adversity we had to deal with. We're going through that every year. It really topped it off well because we really worked hard that year. We really grinded and put our head down and wasn't worried about anything but winning games and trying to get to where we needed to be. So it ended up, we ended up being an SEC championship and ended up great.
How does a team be a close family-knit team and be, as competitive as you guys were on the practice field? It had to separate you guys basically every day. How did you guys keep from being, how did it have the chemistry when it had the intensity that it had from competitiveness?
I think we hated losing more than we like winning. And Coach Foreman brought those type of guys in. And at the end of the day, we go out the practice field and all of us hanging out with each other. Like I said, he preached the family atmosphere, and we really took that to heart. We went home with each other. I went to Jackson, Tennessee. I've been to Georgia with Fred. We basically did everything together, and we always did it together, and it bonded us as a team, and it's a lot easier on Saturdays when we went out there and played.
Did you guys realize that Deion and Jamal and those guys were going to be that big of an impact? And what was your message to them to have them, to make sure they were ready to help you guys that year? Because you guys got a lot of help from that freshman class.
When Deion and Jamal first lined up, we knew they was going to be good. It's just a matter of us going out there and practice and showing them how to practice and getting ready to play in games. And, Jamal already knew how it was going to be because we was in camp, and I played middle linebacker. I came free on the run blitz, and I hit him, and he ran me over and kept going. So I knew he was going to be good after that. So it really didn't take much for the seniors and upperclassmen guys to go out and practice hard and show them how to practice and show them how to approach the game in college. And they learned what to do, and they turned out really great.
Leonard, one of the people who's not here is still coaching somewhere else that seemed pretty integral was John Chavis. Can you talk about the role Coach Chavis played for you as a player and in your life?
Coach Chavis was a smart coach, obviously, because he moved me. I played linebacker. He moved me to defensive end, which I didn't like at all. I didn't know how it was going to pan out, whatever, but he saw the vision. And he always put his players and everyone in the right position to make plays, and that's the way he was. And out the field, he's like, everyone's, dad, whatever. You can go to him and talk to him about anything. He's always there for you. So, I can say that about every coach that was here. They're the same way. So that what made playing for this team so special.
What that 97 team kind of keep focused after that Florida game? Because y'all had been building up to that moment, and you and Peyton were seniors, and there was so much buzz going into that year. What made y'all kind of get off the mat so well after that Florida game?
It was actually kind of easy. Because we was mad once we came back to practice Monday. We was mad at that game. We was ready to go back and play again because it was a thorn in our side all 3 years I was here, and that 97 team, and we just put our head down and worked the whole time the rest of the year, and things happened, and we was happy to be in the SEC championship, but we just put our head down and work, and that was the type of guys we have on our team that we lose the game, but we're going to come back the next week and try to get better.
Do you think the current players know you guys, know your legacy, know what you did here?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know. I'm not sure. I think if guys came around more, I think they would pay attention to it because they have a lot of distractions nowadays. They got social media and everything that's going on around them. So I think if guys, come around more and be around them more, I think they'll get grips on it.
Leonard, I know you watched the team. I guess I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you, what did you think about Derek Barnett? He had a charge on the TFL's record. We saw him get the sacks. What did you think about him and just what his future holds in the NFL.
I mean, you get what you see with him. I mean, he was a great defensive end, and I watched him as a freshman and watched him the first game he played, and you would have thought he was a senior then because he played so well. But he's what Tennessee football is, and it's a couple guys where you can follow, and if everyone would have followed Derek Barnett and did what he did, it would have been a whole lot better because he could have played with us. He was real intense. He's running to the ball. He's making plays, and he's the epitome of what Tennessee football is.
What was different about how things were there then in the 90s from how they are now?
The biggest thing is social media and the distractions. I mean, they have a lot of distractions, man. I mean, they can open up their phone and see everything, what everyone's talking about them, and everything. So back then, we didn't have too many distractions. The only thing we had was the newspaper, print, and stuff like that. We didn't have any internet. I mean, email just had came out back then, so we really didn't have anything like that. So it's a lot more distractions, these days. So I guess you got to really hone in on, keeping those guys focused on what they got to do and how to do it.
With so many great players as that defense had, I mean, we could go right down the list of really college football Hall of Fame potential guys. What made Al the leader? Why was he the guy? What is it about him that made him the guy everybody responded to?
Well, myself, I didn't really talk that much, so I didn't really talk. I just talked with the way I played, but he was more vocal. He was a guy that was vocal, and basically he was a guy that wasn't scared to call anybody out, no matter who it was. So you definitely need a person like that on each team that can lead the team and not be scared to call somebody out if they do wrong or if they mess up or they're not practicing good or they're not giving all in practice and stuff like that. And he was that type of guy that really was vocal and really told you like it really was. So that what made him who he was, and also he was a great player as well. But he wasn't afraid. That's one person that's not afraid to say anything to anybody. So,
thank you.